All right, this song only means one thing. It's Thursday afternoon, and we got Coach Giampa with us again today. We're going to talk a little Bay Path football, everybody out there. How are you, Coach? Great to see you, and another week, and we're back in the trenches.
Yeah, another week. It's gone well this week. Weather was nice again, so we're excited.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'll tell you what. Last week was an outstanding performance against what I consider a very, very strong team. Narragansett, they moved the ball up and down the field, and your defense held when it had to, and your offense was just on fuego, man. You guys are pumping in points and doing what you had to do in the second half was a real good outburst for you. So let's talk a little bit about that game from a coach's perspective, and what were your takeaways?
I thought our defense played really well. They're a tough team. They know what they want to do. They're really well coached. We have a lot of respect for their coaching staff, and we knew that they were going to cause some problems. They're very physical. Sometimes teams get into the gun and they lose a little bit of that physicality, but not them. They ran the ball well. Number 10 and number 28 both did a really good job, and yeah, our defense stepped up to the challenge of holding them. Making teams go on long drives, forcing coaching staffs to be disciplined. So we were really happy. And then offensively, we're confident in our kids to execute what we're trying to do, and they did a nice job. They were patient. They understood the game plan and they were able to execute. So it was good.
Let's talk about Coach Brian Riches and what he does and what he brings to the table for that defense. I always kid him. I said, we got to keep the score under 20 to give our offense a chance to win. And I'll tell you what, I know he works really hard at making that happen and having the kids understand the discipline that it takes to create those stops. And I'll tell you, it's not easy. So the value that Coach Riches brings to the team, let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I think I've always been a big believer that defense is an attitude. I think offensively you can kind of, X and O and formation and scheme your way to success. But I think defense is an attitude, and it starts from whoever's coordinating that defense. I mean, football is a tough sport in that you have a lot of coaches and a lot of different personalities, and there's something very specific that I look for in a defensive coordinator: someone who's intense, someone who's a little bit salty, someone who, is gonna instill that attitude, and the kids take after whoever that is. And so, Brian's done a really good job for us. He's incredibly well prepared. He's a football guy. His family is a football family. He understands the game. He has a good knack for the game. And then most importantly, he understands kids. He knows how to motivate kids and drive kids. Because, again, I believe that at this level, defense is an attitude. If you want to play defense, you have to be able to fly around and hit people. It's not so much where you line up. I mean, obviously, you want to be prepared in terms of what a team's going to throw at you and what a team can do to cause different issues. And you have to be, schematically and formationally sound. But for the most part, I mean, you have to have 11 kids who believe in the guy calling the plays, and I think our kids do. And you have to be able to fly to the football and be willing to make contact and bring contact. As an offensive coach, I can tell you that the toughest defenses to play are the ones they're not trying to outthink you. They're going to line up and they're confident in what they're doing, and they're going to try to fly at you and hit you and out muscle you and out physical you. And I think Brian does a nice job of getting the kids ready to go, and they believe in what he's trying to do, which I think is the biggest feather in any coach's hat.
That's the cohesiveness within the unit of your coaching staff that I see, and that just takes time, but more importantly, it takes clear expectations. And you've got a group together now that really gets kids, and I absolutely love seeing that. Hey, let's circle back and talk about some key notables of that game against Narragansett. What sticks out in your mind the most from the player perspective?
I thought our offensive line did a good job. They brought a lot of different pressure. They showed us some fronts that we weren't expecting. Well, not that we weren't expecting, but fronts that we didn't, spend a ton of time with in practice. And those 5-6 guys up front, they do a good job communicating. They understand what their job is. Foundationally, again, they have a good coach and Coach Giampa who gets those guys prepared. And it's the same thing offensive line wise. It's an attitude of it doesn't matter if you want to blitz us, you can blitz us. You want to line up in certain places, you can line up in certain places. But they communicate. They know what they're doing, and and they have faith that if they provide an opening or a gap, that the guys behind them are going to be able to take advantage of it. So I thought our offensive line did a nice job. I was impressed with them because, again, Gansett knows our offense. They know how to stop our offense, and they threw some stuff at us that was challenging. And I thought our offensive line did a good job. Because again, it doesn't matter really. I mean, I can see it. Our coaching staff can see it. We can make adjustments and we can call certain things that should work, right? But if the guys on it doesn't really. That's about 10% of it. If the guys on the field don't understand, or if they're confused, or if they're not communicating, then that's going to cause you problems. And our offensive line did a nice job of playing within themselves, understanding what we were asking them to do, and then executing it.
Well, with my limited mindset of coaching, I'm going to tell you what I noticed was that you wore them down, and you guys really hit the energy button in the second half to really open up the lead. And that's the mark of a well-conditioned team. And again, you talk about mental toughness and knowing that that break is going to come, that opportunity to seize it. And whether it's through turnovers or through repetitions, your kids really, really responded in the second half, which to me was really nice to see, because they were hanging around a little bit in that first half, as you saw.
Yeah, and like I said, they're a good team. We knew they were going to have a plan for us. We knew that they were going to cause us some issues, but we take a lot of pride in the weight room. I'm a big weight room guy. I think everything starts in the weight room. And we don't condition during practice. I mean, I don't coach cross country, so I don't want to, have guys running around. I think fundamentally that's not really fair either. I mean, I remember as an offensive lineman myself, when you're doing sprints at the end of practice, you're watching the receivers, the guys who weigh 100 pounds less than you, fly up and down, and you've been busting your tail all practice, and you got a coach screaming at you, you need to run harder or faster. And it's like, I've been drive blocking for the past 2 hours, and now you're asking me to do sprints. So we don't do any conditioning during practice. That's all off-season stuff. And we have, like I've said to you before, we have a good group of captains, and we have a lot of weight room kids, and they believe in the weight room. They know how important that is, and they know that if they just trust in that, and that they're physically ready, and they're physically prepared, then we can lean on teams a little bit, especially as the game gets going. We don't believe in getting tired, and that's how our kids are. They don't believe that tired is a thing that should happen or should affect anything. So
I absolutely
we were
love
happy
that.
with that.
Yeah, let's change this for a second, the narrative. Let's talk about Assabet. Assabet's been a powerhouse for a long time. Obviously, you got your hands full. Let's talk a little bit about how you're preparing for Assabet for this Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, Assabet's a good team. They mirror us in a lot of ways. They're physical. This is going to be a really good game. We're very excited to play them. I don't think they like us very much. So that's good. The competition is what you want. You only have in football, you only have so many competitive opportunities. It's not like other sports where you're playing every other day or back-to-back days, or it's one shot a week. And so we want to thrive with competition, and Assabet's a really good team. They've played, their schedule is really hard. They've played some really good teams, and they've hung around with all of them. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, there's no doubt that you're going to do all the things you need to do to plan to be as prepared as possible. Like I always say, wins and losses take care of themselves. The preparation you put in, the confidence you instill in your kids to execute at a high level, that's something that really determines outcomes of games, as you know. And as always, hey, a little bit of luck. Turnovers are turnovers. You don't want to get caught up in those, but your kids have been getting better and better each week. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity of what you guys can do tomorrow night. And I'm hoping there's a big crowd that gets behind us and goes out to Marlboro and watch.
Yeah, me too. It's a tough place to play. Their facilities are really nice, but they have a big crowd that shows up. Their crowd doesn't like us very much. And that's what you want. You don't want to play in front of nobody. We do that in practice all the time. You want to compete in front of people that don't like you. You want to compete in front of people that do like you. You want eyes on you, when you're putting out that finished product. So we're very excited. We're excited to go down there. It's a place that, like I said, it's tough to play in, but I think our kids are ready. I think our kids are excited to play. And I know they're going to be. So we're very excited to get this game going.
Coach Giampa right there. You heard it directly from the head coach. We are excited for you guys tomorrow night. Keep the train going in the direction that it's going. More importantly, keep leading those kids with heart and passion and desire, because the kids need that type of direction. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Win, lose, or draw, we're heading in the right direction, and I love what you're creating. Thank you so much for joining me again on a Thursday afternoon on the Bay Path Football Show. I'm really excited about tomorrow night out there. If you can come and join us, please do. We can use that purple and gold on the sidelines, because that's where that extra man, as I always talk about. Coach, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. These are fun. So thank you.
You got it. Everybody, Friday night, 7:00, Assabet. We hope you're there. Bay Path strong. Let's go, Minutemen, on to the next level. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.